That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have gone to wash my hands if I'd have known they were going to come out. I'd have stayed there and I'd have slapped her in the face and I'd have beat him up.
You really mean that?
Yeah, I didn't know they were going. Why didn't you get a more up-to-date format? I didn't know they were going to come out here. Well, don't worry about it. We got a match in the ring right now in World Championship Wrestling. Tijo Khan, a member of Paul Jones's Army, going up against Virginia's own Mark Fleming. And I think Tijo, he's come along quite well since joining the Army. Paul Jones has been training him, been working out with him, been teaching him a lot of things, giving him the benefit of his years of experience in professional wrestling. And Tijo's looking like a real first-class athlete these days.
You know, speaking of Tijo Khan and Paul Jones's Army, Tijo a little bit short on hair up top there, and of course,
why don't you just go ahead and defend the man's right to wear a hairstyle any way he sees fit, huh?
I have no problem with the way he wants to wear his hairstyle, but I was alluding to the fact that Paul Jones now is another member of the Army with a little bit of a bald head, and that is Shaska. We all saw that moments ago.
Yeah, and we all saw that Shaska was ripped off, just like everybody tries to take advantage of me in the Midnight Express. Everybody is jealous of Paul Jones and the Army, their great success. They ripped Shaska off, but he's going to get revenge, and before the American bashes are over, like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again because Paul Jones told me, and he always tells me the truth, Jimmy Valiant is going to be a bald-headed geek one way or the other, and he will never touch one hair on Paul Jones, the General's head.
Well, that's coming up. Paul Jones is going to put up his hair against Jimmy Valiant. And maybe that picture we have been seeing here on World Championship Wrestling so many times, that picture of Paul Jones with the bald head will come true.
No, not in this great American Bash, not in the great year 1986, maybe in 1995. Maybe by then Jimmy Valiant might have found somebody capable of doing a job to Paul Jones, but not in 1986. The end of the great American Bashes is going to see Jimmy Valiant running around here looking like a peeled onion.
Tijo Khan, the great athlete from Singapore.
Look at Tijo. He's putting the pressure on Mark Fleming right now. He's maybe not got the most finesse of any professional wrestler you've ever seen, but he goes out there and gets the job done. And speaking of no finesse, I'm still waiting for the Road Warriors later on in the program, World Tag Team Championship with my Midnight Express. I'm anxious about it because, you know, the Road Warriors, they're baby dolls friends. You know that.
Right.
Just like the Rock and Roll Express and Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA. And this year at the Great American Bash, they're trying to help her get me any way they can, by hook or by crook, but they're not going to do it. As you can see, I'm still standing here. Nothing has happened to me yet. No harm has come to me yet, and it won't. There's still some bash left to go, but by that time, I'm going to get baby doll, and I'm going to make good on all those promises I've made, regardless of what all our friends have to say about it. Matter of fact, we might get rid of the Road Warriors tonight.
I'm certain if there's a way to do it, you'll certainly try.
Well, there's a way, and I'm going to do it.
Still coming up today on World Championship Wrestling, as you heard. World Tag Team title match, Midnight Express against the Road Warriors. Tully Blanchard defends the national title against Wahoo McDaniel. We'll also show a great bunkhouse match coming up as the Rock and Roll Express will team up with Dusty Rhodes to take on Ric Flair, Ole, and Arn Anderson.
It just crosses my mind, what will the Rock and Roll Express wear in a bunkhouse match, huh? Reeboks and Izod's?
I'm sure they would wear the blue jeans and the big leather belts. And
yeah, they couldn't even tote a big leather belt, much less put it on. The real men in that case are not the Rock and Roll Express. And I think we're going to find out that maybe the Rock and Roll just shouldn't get in those bunkheads. Maybe they ought to get in a disco match, huh? Or a nightclub match or something like that, or a hair salon match. That's more their speed. And look at Tijo Khan. He's putting the pressure. He's about to chop Mark Fleming's ear off right there. Fleming is just at a loss at exactly what method to take to attack Tijo Khan at this particular time. And he tosses him out of the ring like a pig. You throw him out the right way, he's going to hit that floor. He might not even be able to get back in the ring. If he's able to catch a rope, catch an apron, somehow break his fall, then that's going to give him a few seconds out there on the floor to play possum and get his breath back. So you take a little risk when you throw a man out of the ring, but if you do hurt him where he can't get back in, you've got the victory wrapped up. If you give him the time to take a breath, you could maybe lose the match over it. But it looks like Tijo is still in control, still in command of the match. He gives Mark Fleming a big slam, and that's got to make the back a little worse for wear. He's going for a pin now, but the referee was out of position, wasn't down there fast enough to make the count. He was down for a 2 count before the referee even started.
Fleming trying to come back now. A couple of right hands to the midsection. Elbow. Fleming right on target with that one.
A good elbow. He shook Tijo up, but he's got to stay on the attack. He tried for a slam, and Tijo hooked him, shifted that weight. Now he's got him in a front face lock.
You're right by saying Tijo Khan has really come a long way.
Look how broad that back is, Tony. Switches over to a beautiful hip toss. Now he's once again in control of Mark Fleming. Goes for the knee lift, right to the jaw. Fleming trying to shake it off, trying to get back up, but Tijo sees the opportunity, goes down. There's a perfectly legal cover right there.
I think we could all see how legal that cover was, Jimmy.
Well, that's why I just pointed it out, because, you know, some people may not have noticed it.
Khan now. Paul Jones not here at ringside with Tijo Khan. I'm sure Paul is still reeling, still very disturbed about what happened.
Well, I think he'd be happy if you didn't speak for him, Tony Schiavone. Paul Jones is probably taking care of business matters somewhere else. But as you see, Tijo, a beautiful turnaround power slam, has the situation well in hand, and a victory for Tijo Khan.
Winner of the match, Tijo Khan, looking very unhappy. Paul Jones putting his hair up in Greensboro against Jimmy Valiant. They could suffer another one.
Well, I don't think so, because look at this. Tijo Khan, the beautiful reverse power slam. He's fired up. The whole army's fired up, and they're not going to let Paul Jones have one hair on his head harmed by Boogie Woogie Man.
Okay, fans.